I bet what's happening, family. I believe we're alive. Now, I know probably a lot of y'all out there celebrating, drinking, doing this, doing that, enjoying yourself. And I get it, right? I'm not judging or nothing, because I'm probably about to go tell with the family in a minute as well. However, the goals still remain the same. And so, I'm going to drop this content first. And I think that what it's time for me to do now is kind of show y'all into my mind, right? Because I know the main question y'all probably having is simple. I see everything you doing, bro. Like, that's cool, John. Trade the little songs and stuff. That's cute or whatever. But how them songs about to make you grow this brand? And more importantly, how is it about to make you some money? How is it about to make the brand some money? How is it about to make you profitable? And I get it. That's a good question. So today we're going to tap into the actual technical side of it, right? And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put on my teacher hat. You dig what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and get to it. Okay, bet. So we live, right? So back to what we were saying. I know y'all was saying, like, come on, bro. Like, you said you was going to get a game on this thing. Like, come on. Like, pop it. You know what I'm saying? What we doing? Like, I see what you got going, but how we going to get this done? You telling me, like, you showing us doing in the studio doing songs and stuff, but really break this thing down from a practical perspective. So let's go ahead. Hey, let me go ahead and pop it then. You dig what I'm saying? So I'm going to make this real simple for you. So first we have to understand, what's the goal, right? It's 6 steps. 6 steps. Number 1, GCB mission. We all know what the mission is, right? The mission is simple: to be able to document us and building a brand back up from zero, basically, to a profitable brand with a very vibrant community. So in doing that, okay, how do I plan on doing that? I know y'all see all the studio sessions and all that, but y'all still really trying to figure out, like, what he got going. Is he tripping? Is he crazy? Is he just out here just doing stuff? Man, listen, bro, I promise y'all I'm too wise for that. So let me go ahead and break it down right quick. Let me go ahead and give y'all some game people ain't gonna give y'all, right? So in order for me to be able to get to what we're trying to do, I need to make sure we have an audience coming in. And the only way to have an audience coming in, I need people to be able to advertise for me, or I can pay social media. I could pay Facebook. I could pay Instagram. Or if I'm still stuck in the olden days, I could try to do it on my own and just build it up brick by brick on some organic following type of stuff. But again, we in 2025, bro. If you got Coca-Cola out here spending billions of dollars on advertisement and everybody know who they are, why are you not? You dig what I'm saying? And so then my question then became, okay, how am I going to get individuals to be able to advertise on my behalf? One, or am I going to pay Instagram and Mark Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, all that money? You feel me? Like, what am I going to do? I'm going to go ahead and get that money to Instagram and Facebook, or do I want to give it to the people? And y'all know we call generational curse breakers anyway. So my thing is, let me go ahead and give it to the people. And so what I said I was going to do was, okay, I'm going to create a GCB offer. I'm going to get into that, right? Then after that, I got to have a machine. I got to have a machine to make sure that I can be able to go ahead and make sure that offer runs smooth, which will help us get to that mission. I also got to make sure I got processes and systems. And then, like we was just talking about, if I know that I'm not going to pay the Instagram and Facebook like that, but I'm going to put most of that money, most of that capital that we have to be able to invest in our business, I want to put it back on the streets. I want to put it back into the hands of my people. And so, boom, I'm going to run it that way. Now, let's go ahead and break all of them down, starting with the offer, right? So for me, it's simple. For me, I'm going to run an affiliate program, right? And on that affiliate program, what I'm going to do is for the top 5 affiliates, right? Top 5 affiliates. And yeah, y'all see me, I'm using the Crayola markers, got to keep it Crayola. But for the top 5 affiliates, whoever, meaning affiliate, right? What's an affiliate? So whoever advertises the most, right? Whoever brings the most leads in, the most customers in, the most people into our business, meaning GCB. The top 5 of those individuals, we're going to be hosting them on a VIP LA retreat. And then we're going to hit Long Beach. And then from Long Beach, we're going to go ahead and cut across the water. And then we're going to go to Catalina Island. And then that's where we're going to have a mastermind for them, a masterclass for them, and just, show them love, give them some game, give them credit game, give them fun and game. And then we're just going to have a good time, right? For the top 15 individuals, we're going to bring it back to the city. So for the top 15 individuals, we're going to throw a Dallas Mansion Mastermind weekend. And really, let me take that back. It's not going to be a weekend. It's really going to be a day event. So we're going to do a Dallas Mansion Mastermind day event, where everybody gonna be able to pull up to the mansion, and we're gonna have caterers on deck. We're gonna make sure we got different guests that'll be able to talk about real game, like real things is gonna be able to help break generational curses. And on top of that, it's gonna be the best spot for you to go ahead and get your pictures off, get your videos off, whoever the top affiliates are, you know, whatever businesses they got and all that, this is going to be free promo for them. On top of them being able to network with other like-minded individuals, right? So then that's that. So now what about the ones who don't do as much? Like, what about the ones who can just really just, you know, hey, I might send you 5 or 10 individuals. Well, on this end, you know, for the ones who send us at least 10 opt-ins, right? Opt-in meaning at least the ones who send 10 people to our page that's going to be able to make sure they join our webinar. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're doing. At the end of the day, we're going to do a webinar to showcase how we got from zero to a vibrant brand and how we became profitable. That's what we're doing. And so at the end of our 7-week deadline, we're going to host a free webinar and we're going to get a game. So now for everybody who taps into that webinar, we want to make sure we have as many people as possible tap in. How are we doing that? That's what we're doing within the 7 weeks. That makes sense. So what y'all are seeing me do is y'all are seeing me bring in. I'm going ahead of myself. Hold on. Let me go ahead and get right here. So at that 10 plus opt-ins, right? So for the ones who have about 10 plus opt-ins, what we're going to do on that end is, okay, they're going to be able to get the unreleased audio conversations, right? And I say unreleased audio conversations because I have 2 of them. One called Note to Self, Play or Be Played, right? And then another one called Pay Attention or It Will Cost You. Those are literally the things that I wrote or I spoke and created an audio conversation about, not an audio book, but an audio conversation about, to be able to make sure I kept reminding myself when downfalls come, what has history taught us and how can we be able to get out of it? I did this over 6-7 years ago. And it's the same thing that I had to play back into once I lost everything. So I'm not just throwing away, I'm not just giving you no throwaway stuff. No, I'm giving you stuff that I've been sitting on for a long time that God knew for me, I needed. I had to go back and listen to my own words. I had to go back and see how people did it, you know, when they did lose this, when they did lose that, or how people was being creative, you know, how people got themselves out of situations. I had to go back and listen to the younger me, tell the older me this same information. And I'm just going to get that to them people for the free, for the love, right? So that's that. So that's the offer. But then from the offer, like I said, you then have to have a machine. And you have to know how to promote it. But we're going to start with the machine first. So on my end, what does that machine look like? So for me, that machine is simple. I'm going to make sure that we have a page that people go to. On that page is going to be a video, right? On that page is going to be a video. What that video is going to do is simply going to let the affiliates know this is what we're doing, right? This is what we're doing. We're making sure we send individuals to, you know, to a webinar. This is our story. This is a little bit about us. This is a little bit about our story. No, this is what we lost. This is how we've been doing everything to get it back up, and we document it live. But it's enough about us. For anybody interested in being an affiliate, for anybody who want what we just showed them, which is this right here, right? For anybody who want what we just showed them, because this is what they care about. They don't care about nothing that we got going, respectfully. Me, you, or whoever. People don't care about nothing other than how can it benefit them. Let's be very clear on that. And that ain't nothing wrong with it. It's not a right or wrong. It just is what it is. So this what got their attention. Once this get their attention, we have to then make sure, okay, where are they going? So now they're going to click the link and they're going to come here. You following what I'm saying? Once they click that link and once they come here, then at that point, what they're going to be able to do is they're going to be able to look at the video. They're going to be able to choose to opt in. Once they opt in, they're going to get here with a link. And then we're going to be able to send them emails. We're going to send them posts. We're going to send them ads. We're going to make sure that we do all the work for them. All they got to do is be able to make sure they give us their audience. That's it. You put us in front of your audience, we're going to make your job as easy as possible. And we're going to make you being able to have an opportunity to win those tiers and win those, the VIP trips, the Dallas Mansion weekend. We're going to make sure we make this as easy as possible for you. As long as you do your part, which is putting us in front of your audience. Right? So then that goes to the question of, okay, so how you going to promote it? Well, we're going to make sure we sending in all type of traffic, right? All type of traffic. This might be from, you know what I'm saying? This might be Dallas bloggers, right? This might be Dallas bloggers, Say Cheese, just all type of bloggers, right? It might be from we might throw some IG ads in there, you know what I'm saying? We might throw some, meaning do ads to reach affiliates to be able to come to this page to then be able to see, okay, this is what we have to do. And anybody who want to be able to join this affiliate program, hey, go ahead, hit the link. Or we might do some other things, right? I'm just giving you an example. So it could be bloggers, it could be ads, it could be influencers themselves. We could just go ahead and just direct message them themselves. You know what I'm saying? We can just put DM right there, direct message them themselves, and then run it from there, right? But that does not mean nothing. Meaning, okay, we understand the offer. We understand the machine. We understand how we're going to promote it. That's cool. Okay, but what about the processes and systems? And see, this is important because just throwing stuff out there, hoping it stick, It's not going to work, especially in a situation like ours. We're on a timeline. We got 7 weeks. So we have to be very strategic with everything that we're doing. And I'm saying that because I know y'all see me in that studio and y'all see me coming up with stuff, but I promise you every move is very, very, very strategic. So what does that look like? Okay, onboarding, meaning how can we make it as easy as possible for the affiliates coming into our program? As soon as they come in, we got to make sure we get them a custom link. What is that custom link going to do? That custom link is going to make sure now that that custom link is what they're going to send out to their audience, right? So they're going to send that out to their following. And they're going to tell all their people, you know what I'm saying? Hey, these are my little stick figures. You know what I'm saying? They're going to tell all their people, hey, man, they're going to tell, hey, y'all come over here. I got something for y'all, right? So they're going to tell all their people about what we got going, which for us is the webinar. Then we're going to make sure that we have attributions and then leadership board. Well, really, it's supposed to be leaderboard, right? Attribution and then leaderboard. What does that mean? People love competing. And so we want to make sure we're updating it daily on who the top individuals are. Why would we be updating who the top individuals are? Because at the end of the day, people are trying to see who in top 5, who in top 15, right? People want to know where they at. People want to know if they're doing good, doing bad, if they can step it up. People like to know that. Who they got to look out for, who their competitors might be. People love competing. And so we're going to make sure we have an updated live leaderboard to where people can understand that and be able to see that. And then again, collateral. And what does that collateral mean? That collateral go back to what I was talking about on this end, which is making sure we have the tools and everything for them to make this process, make this system as streamlined as possible, as efficient as possible, to where all they have to do is just put us in front of your audience. That's it. And we're going to do the rest. You dig what I'm saying? And so then after that, the question is, okay, you say affiliates. Okay, so what does that look like? And again, sometimes affiliate, it could be affiliates, it could be called influencers, it can be referrals. But basically at the end of the day, it's having somebody who has an audience and they tells their audience about your stuff. Somebody got an audience, they tell an audience about your stuff. That's it. On our end, when it comes to GCB, the people that we're looking at people such as like nail techs, salon owners, you dig what I'm saying? Barbershops, bartenders, club promoters, social media influencers, local Dallas influencers, meaning, some people might have about, 5,000 followers, but they 5,000 is 5,000 solid, meaning that they engage highly with them. And then you might got people that got 25,000 followers, 50,000 followers, 100,000 followers. But the key thing that I'm making sure I do is I'm going to keep it local first. I'm starting with the city first, and then we're going to spread the message out. But I'm making sure we give our people an opportunity first. Why? Because Dallas ain't used to seeing nothing like this. They already do this in Houston. They do this in Atlanta. They do this in Miami. Like, they used to this. But who doing this in Dallas? And so I want to make sure that Dallas has the opportunity to be able to take advantage of this first. And that's why I want to make sure I go to the individuals who I know be really putting on, like really be hustling. Nail techs doing everybody nails in the city. Salon owners getting everybody head right in the city. Same thing with the barbershops. Bartenders be making sure everybody stay teed up, just like on today, July 4th. Bartenders making sure everybody teed up in the city. Club promoters doing the same thing, making sure everybody having a good time. And then you got your social media influencers, your local influencers. They making sure they keep people entertained. Well, their audience is who I need. Because if we teach people how to get their credit right, so they can then get their funding right, so they can be able to use that money then go out there and be able to create generational wealth, or at least start that process, then it's going to start making sure that we can get in touch with them. And it's a whole lot easier for me to get in contact with these people, right, than to get in contact with all of Dallas. Now, we're just going to make sure we got 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 100 of these people that's going to make sure they spread the word, right, for me. But then that key question would be this. Why would they promote your stuff? Because like I said earlier, it's never about you. People don't do what you want them to do. People do what they feel like is in their best interest, right? And it's just business. It's not a right thing or a bad thing. It just is what it is. So then the question is, why would they do that? Well, because who not trying to go on a VIP LA retreat? Who not trying to go to Dallas Mansion Mastermind, right? And not only that, who not trying to make sure they can be able to assist their audience with gifts and stuff too. Everybody like looking like the hero. So not only are they going to be able to enjoy the fruits of their labor, they also making sure their community, they following, right, is going to be able to benefit from it as well. And what does that look like? Well, that's simple on that end, because what we're doing on top of all of that, We showed y'all what the promoters gonna get, right? What the influencers gonna get, what the affiliates gonna get, what the referrals gonna get. Cool, but what about the people that's showing up? Well, I can't tell y'all everything. I can't do that. But what I can tell y'all is that we're gonna be giving away over $1,000 on that live free webinar. And so it's free. They're gonna be able to come into a free webinar and they're gonna have an opportunity just because they came in to be able to get some of that $1,000. Who doing that? On top of getting out of the game with how to get their credit right. On top of getting out of the game with how to get their funding right. On top of getting out of the game with how to be able to market their businesses and do everything that they saw us do. On top of all that. And on top of making sure they got somebody who gonna be able to make sure they give them the game, right? Because again, keep in mind, when they come over here, this a mastermind. So they gonna be able to, meaning they followers or they leaders, right? If we're talking about the influencers, their following is going to be able to benefit from them, because once they go to this retreat and get even more game and dive deeper with us, they're going to be able to ask us very specific questions that their following wants to know. Let me make that make more sense to you, right? So maybe you can see both of these. I believe you can. Their following, right? These influencers have a following. If they get here, they're going to now be able to let their followers know, ask me, tell me whatever questions you want me to ask, and I'm going to ask them on y'all behalf when I come out here to this retreat. Same thing when it comes to this Dallas Mansion Mastermind. Ask me all the questions, because you might not be able to get in front of these people. You might have a very specific question that you won't answer, and I'm going to do that for you. But I got to make sure we get here first. So let's make sure we get us here first. And I'm saying that because at the end of the day, it becomes a win-win-win. It's a win for us from the GCB brand because we're bringing individuals into our webinar. It's a win for the influencer because they're able to take advantage of the offer. And then it's a win for their following and for their audience because they're able to get questions answered that they normally would not be able to get answered. And not just any generic questions, very specific questions. And doing all of that combined is what's going to help us be able to get to the goal that we're trying to get to within 7 weeks. And watch this. Ask me how much we had to pay for that. See, that's the question. Because you know our budget. Our budget is $5,000. But everything I just showed you, ask me how much we have to pay to be able to get influencers and be able to promise them and deliver on our promises. Nothing. You see what I'm saying? But that's the game. And that's what I want to make sure I'm showcasing during this rebuild. The game. Forget all that theory. I'm talking about real life game. You think I ain't the only one doing this? Like what y'all seeing? This ain't me. This is marketers out here that be doing this at a high level. I just pay attention to what's going on. And I've been doing so for years and years and years. That's why I started with marketing. That's the only reason I tapped into marketing. Because when it comes to our people, we always want to make sure we do the singing stuff or the rapping or the hair or the this, whatever the business is. But then the main question become, who gonna promote you? Who gonna learn that side of the game? Who gonna learn the business side of the game? And so that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. That's why I'm having fun with that music stuff. But that music stuff ain't gonna make or break what we got going. That's just gonna bring what? More people in. And with the more people that we got coming in, y'all now have seen the system. You following me? And then the system gonna work from there. So anything I can do to bring more people in, I'm gonna do it. So when it comes to that singing, I'm gonna do it. When it comes to making sure we get rid up in all these articles, because we already got over 150 some articles that we being written up over. I take that back. I lied. We in over 200 some articles now. I'm gonna do it. When it comes to collaborating, I'm gonna do it. Why? Because all we need now is attention. Once the attention come into our page and they click that link, the machine gonna take it from there. And so when y'all asking or when y'all trying to figure out, John Trey, what you got going, man, listen, everything I'm doing is strategic. Everything I'm doing is strategic. And now y'all have been able to, allow me to be able to pop the hood and y'all could take a look at what's really going on. And so I ain't going to take up too much of y'all time on this fine July 4th. And I'm going to leave y'all with that, man. So with that being said, it's been yours truly, John Trey. And we gone.